Hi, my name is Danielle Nash, and I actually ended up watching two of the videos this week. I watched the living with depression, and then living with bipolar. But I'm going to talk about living with bipolar because I thought that one was a little more interesting. Um, so I felt like it was done really well, and I really liked the different stories. Looks like there was one, two, three, four, five, six different sort of people. Well, seven, because one woman with her son, but seven different people that were interviewed kind of about that experience. And it was really interesting because they were from all walks of life and all socioeconomic backgrounds and different geographic areas. Like one guy was from the Midwest, one woman was from the South and was a rancher, one woman was from the inner city, and then one woman was interviewed with her son, and so he talked about his experience sort of having a mom that was bipolar. But I thought there were some really interesting themes. One of the big things that really stood out to me was when they talked about stigma. One of the women, I don't know how to say her name, Avenel, discussed sort of like when you're diagnosed with cancer, you might go home and call your friends and call your family and, say, oh my gosh, I've been diagnosed with cancer. And there's this expectation or this understanding that your friends will sort of rally around you and say, whatever you need, we'll support you, and your coworkers will support you, and everybody's very encouraging that you take care of yourself, and they really honor that. And when you go home and you say you have a mental health disorder, people aren't as understanding, and they don't really know how to support you, and they definitely don't treat it with the same respect that they would a mental health diagnosis. And so that's just something that's really good. Obviously, I'm a little more aware of it than the average person since I'm pursuing this degree, but just something to be really aware of when people share those things with me on a personal level, that I need to be really reverent of that. And I also was really impacted by the discussion of relationships and relationships with providers. Everybody seemed to discuss sort of a psychiatrist or a therapist that they felt was really impactful for their progress and their treatment, and that seemed to be really important. And they all discussed personalized plans for success and what that looks like for all of them. So whether or not that's taking medications on time or not going out with friends when friends want them to stay out late, recognizing that, coffee might affect them a certain way, and that doesn't mean that they're never going to drink coffee again. They just have an understanding that, if they drink coffee, they'll have to do something in order to take care of themselves and make sure that they fall asleep. And I thought it was also very interesting. Multiple people discussed how they've hidden symptoms and experiences from providers, because when they were manic, they felt like providers were like out to get them, or it was a trap. Multiple people discussed feeling like they couldn't be completely vulnerable because they would either lose services or lose their children. So those things are really, I think, really important things to be aware of as a service provider. I'm in the trauma-informed care class as well, and so just knowing that just asking people about those experiences can be really triggering, and it takes a lot to build trust and, again, get back to that relationship like they were talking